Manus AI. Manus AI. Manus AI. What the heck is Manus AI?
This is Rossi Bites.
So in today's video, I'm going to be walking through Manus AI. This is probably the best autonomous AI agent that I've seen so far to date. This is a Chinese autonomous AI agent, and you do have to be invited to join and use it. You can request access to it on their site, which is manus.im. And in this video, I'm going to walk through a demonstration of how I used Manus to go out and do some research on vibe coding, because that's the buzzword of the month so far. And based on that research, and also by looking up some trending YouTube videos on the topic, create a website that allows me to show and display all of that information to customers on my own website. And I was completely blown away by the job that Manus did doing this. It didn't take very long at all, and I think you'll be impressed with the end results, considering it's just a very basic prompt that I'm giving it. Okay, so my starting prompt is do some brief research on vibe coding. Check YouTube for top trending videos on vibe coding. Then, using the information, create a web page to showcase the trending videos on the website by having a modern, clean design with thumbnails/cards to display the videos in a responsive column layout. Call the site Vibecore. See that Manus is typing. And right away, I'll help you research vibe coding and create a modern web page called Vibecore to showcase trending videos on this topic. And it's connecting to a data source, and it looks like if we look at that, it's searching Twitter real quick here. And now it's actually executing a command within its own computer where it's going to create a to-do markdown file. And this to-do markdown file is basically going to be a list that Manus is putting together of all of the steps that it needs to execute in order to successfully complete this task. And you'll notice this little viewer down at the bottom here. If you select to jump to live, it'll actually show you exactly what Manus is doing on its computer. And you can also scrub back and forth to see different steps that it completed along the way. So again, here, based on my prompt, it created a to-do markdown file for the steps that it will use. So research vibe coding concept, search YouTube for trending vibe coding videos, create website structure and design, implement responsive layout with video cards, test website functionality and responsiveness, deploy the website and provide an access link, and then report completion to user. So this is literally a list that it made up based off of my request of all the things that it needs to complete successfully in order to deliver what I asked it to deliver. So as we can see here, it's looking at its to-do list, it's going out and it's actually looking up articles about vibe coding. You can see that on Manus's computer. It's going to some of those links into the actual websites, and you can see here that it's actually scrolling down the web page. So it's literally viewing the web page. And again, this is the multimodal capabilities of this particular agent. And it's capturing all of the text that it finds relevant for the topic that I've asked it to get information on. And it will go ahead and iterate through the other websites that it has in its list. And once it's complete, it'll actually put together a markdown file on its computer of a summary of the information that it gleaned from the articles that it researched. Okay, so now that it's gone and gotten all that research information, you can see that it's created a markdown file that it's going to use when it actually creates the website for us. And you can see that it's summarized vibe coding, it's given some key characteristics of it, etc. It's also gone ahead and updated its to-do list, marking that particular task as being completed. And next, it's going to move on to the next task, which is researching trending YouTube videos. And as you can see on the screen here, there's a bunch of links for YouTube videos that it's found by doing a search for trending YouTube videos on the topic of vibe coding. Now, this part right here completely blew my mind. Manus literally is browsing to the YouTube videos and watching the videos and or accessing the transcripts for the videos and essentially extracting out the important information about each of those videos. You'll see that it just changed to a second video from the first video. And here we see this particular video playing. It's capturing information from the page of the video itself. The video is obviously playing here. And just like that, Manus is now on to a completely different video, and it's watching that video and extracting the information it needs from that source as well. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit, but you'll see Manus continuing to browse the videos and extract information that it needs. And as you can see, it's created a markdown file of all of the video information that it needed from each of the videos, including things like the title, the channel name, how many views the video has gotten, when it was posted, what the thumbnail URL is, and then a brief summarized description of the video's topic. So as we can see, Manus has completed that task of searching YouTube, and it's updating the plan. And so now it's basically going to start building out the website structure and design. And you can see that it's actually creating a directory in an Ubuntu sandbox on its computer. And then it begins creating an index.html file. It creates the styles.css file for that. And it also creates JavaScript to handle the actual thumbnail cards. And finally, it updates its to-do list to let it know that it has completed that particular task. And then it's going to move on to the next task, which is to launch the site in a browser to test the site and test the functionality of the responsiveness of the site. And you can see the progress of all the different tasks down in the bottom right-hand corner here. But you can see it's now scrolling the site that it just built to make sure everything is working properly. It's then going and updating the plan again. It's scrolling down the page and showing all the thumbnails for the YouTube videos that it found as being trending videos. And it's now down to the bottom of the site under Vibe Coding Resources. And now it's moving on to the second to last task, which is to deploy the website and provide me with an access link. So for this particular task, it does require my approval, so I can choose to either accept or decline publishing it to a public link that I can access. I'm going to go ahead and click accept here. And now that I've done that, it'll continue deploying the website to a public link that I can access over the internet. Okay, so now it's giving me a summary of the website features. It tells me to feel free to explore the site and let me know if you'd like any adjustments. And it is now going to give me the link that I can use to access the site and eventually report the completion of this task to me, the requester. So now that Manus has finished building the website based on the Vibe coding topic, let's take a look and see what the output looks like in our web browser. So we're going to go ahead and open this up in a new tab. And click over there, and we see our logo. We see a sticky header menu. We have what is Vibe coding. So for a basic, and also the trending videos here with the thumbnails with watch now links that are functional and Vibe coding resources. So all in all, for a site that I didn't really give it much design direction on, it was able to take the task of researching the topic of Vibe coding from various sources, going out to YouTube, pulling the trending videos on that topic, and then building a website, and not only building it, but deploying it to a URL that I can access publicly over the internet. Blows my mind.